Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into an idea that might just change the way you listen to music forever. It's this thought that music isn't just something we hear, it's a physical force that actually shapes our world and, even ourselves. So let's get into it.
We've all said it, right? A song touched us, or a piece of music really moved us. But what if I told you that's not just a metaphor? What if music is a real, tangible, physical experience that doesn't start in our ears, but actually starts with human movement itself?
This quote just nails it. It gets right to the heart of the whole thing. Every single note, every melody, it all begins as a physical action. A finger pressing a piano key, a breath pushing through a trumpet, a hand striking a drum. Music is literally motion that we can hear. It's our own physical energy, our aliveness, transformed into sound.
So, if music starts as movement, then what is sound? I mean, really? Let's peel back the layers here and look at sound not as some abstract idea, but as a real physical force that actually travels through space.
You see, sound waves are basically energy in motion. It all starts with a physical push or a pluck, and that energy literally ripples through the molecules in the air, or in water, or the ground, creating this chain reaction that eventually reaches our ears. It's a wave of pure physical force.
But what if you could actually see this force at work? This, my friends, is where things get really cool. We're going to look at the science that gives us visual proof of sound's incredible power to literally shape the world around us.
Cymatics, it's a fancy word, but all it really means is the study of visible sound. It's a field that shows us the stunningly beautiful, intricate geometry that's hidden inside sound waves when they interact with physical stuff.
And this is the part that might just blow your mind. Sound vibrations don't just randomly shake things up. As we're about to see, they create order out of chaos. They build complex, stable, and, well, absolutely beautiful patterns.
Take a look at this. This is a classic experiment. You put sand or salt on a metal plate, and then you vibrate that plate with a specific musical tone. The sound doesn't just scatter the sand, no way. It organizes it into these incredible symmetrical geometric patterns. Different frequencies create different patterns. It's visual proof that sound has a structural organizing power.
So you might be thinking, okay, cool, patterns in sand, so what? Well, here's the so what. This is where we make the connection. If sound can do that to sand and water, just imagine what it might be doing inside our own bodies, which, as you can see, are over 60% water.
And that very question leads us right into our next big idea. We've seen how sound shapes the world outside of us. Now, let's turn that lens inward and start thinking about the human body itself as this incredibly complex vibrational instrument.
And it's not just a poetic idea. Research is actually showing that our bodies are a living symphony of frequencies. Each one of our organs, from our heart to our liver, seems to vibrate at its own unique, healthy frequency. It tells us that on a deep biological level, we are wired for vibration.
I love this quote because it just captures the whole idea so perfectly. Our body isn't just a thing we have. It's the primary instrument we use to experience the world and create our own music, the vibrations we send out with every action, every word, every emotion. And when it comes to an actual musician, this connection becomes unbelievably powerful. Through thousands of hours of practice, the boundary between the musician and their instrument can actually start to blur. The instrument literally becomes an extension of their body.
So how does that happen? Well, it's a process. First, through endless practice, the musician learns all the physical movements. Over time, those movements become automatic. They don't even have to think about them. And eventually, poof! The body, the instrument, and the sound all merge into one single flowing process. The musician isn't just playing the music. In a very real sense, they are the music.
Okay, so we've seen how sound shapes matter and how our bodies become instruments for sound. Now let's zoom out one more time and look at how music doesn't just fill a room, it actively creates its own architecture.
Think about it. Music isn't just this abstract thing floating in the air. It has dimensions, it has depth, it has density, it has texture. The soaring, vast space of a symphony in a huge concert hall feels completely different from the tight, intimate space of a folk singer in a small cafe. The music itself is defining how we perceive that space. And we can think about this musical space in a bunch of different ways. There's the mental map of the song's structure, the way we feel sound as if it has substance or even color, That sense of energy and force, its journey from beginning to end, and of course, the actual physical room it's being played in. It's a multi-layered experience.
So here's the bottom line. How a musician physically moves, the gesture they use to make a sound, leaves what you could call a spatial imprint. And that imprint, that sense of shape and dimension in the sound, is a massive part of why we find music so beautiful. The musician is quite literally a sculptor of space.
All right, let's bring all these incredible ideas home. We've journeyed from the physics of a simple vibration all the way to the architecture of sound itself. So what does all this mean for you and me, right here, right now?
This is the final synthesis. It all comes down to this. If our body is the instrument, then our mind, our thoughts, our intentions, our feelings is the musician. Every single day, we are composing a symphony that we play out into the world. The only question is, what does yours sound like?
And this quote is so powerful because it reminds us that we have a choice in this. Through awareness, by being mindful, we can actually learn to play our instrument with intention. We can choose to create harmony in our lives and for the people around us, instead of just discordant noise.
So, I'll just leave you with that thought to ponder. Every single moment, you are broadcasting a vibration, a frequency, out into the world. You are the composer, and you are the orchestra. What music will you choose to create? Thanks so much for joining me.